Yeah, what's good, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is JCS on the OCWFED. Felt like talking about wrestling because a lot of interesting crap has happened over the past couple of days. So I'm gonna talk to you like I talk to my people. So bear with me if I say some things you may not understand. This is just a stream of consciousness. I wouldn't call myself a smart mark, if you will, but you know, when you're in the know. So just, I'm not an expert. I don't ever claim to be. I don't pretend to be. I'm just a dude talking on the internet like everybody else does on YouTube. So take that with a grain of salt and let us begin some madness. So if you ain't know, when the stock market closed last Friday, a couple minutes afterwards, WWE announced that Vince McMahon is retiring. Vince McMahon announced that Vince McMahon is retiring, much to the praise of some, the lament of others. Brock Lesnar walked out, then came back because I guess Brock likes money. Who wouldn't like money? So I love Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar loves the money. So that happened, and then when the stock market opened a little bit after, Triple H has been assigned as the head of talent relations. Now, if you didn't know, over the course of the past couple of years, the regime in WWE has shifted to people who were back from the day, like Bruce Pritchard. Who the hell's the other one? Oh, John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis is the tall dude who loves the big blonde women with the big tetas. And Bruce Pritchard was Brother Love, and he's the one who had the podcast, and the podcast was all, retconning WWE history and this, that, and the third. So he came back, and I guess they were in charge of NXT 2.0. If you like NXT 2.0, cool. If you don't, black and yellow, cool, whatever. It's interesting now over what happened, and I gotta adjust my neck brace. Cracked my neck the other day. Shit went sideways. So Triple H is now in charge of creative. Stephanie McMahon is the co-CEO. Nick Khan, who's playing Mortal Kombat or Game of Thrones or whatever, getting everybody out the paint. Basically the butcher, the CEO butcher, cutting off people left and right. Saving the company money. Priming the company to be sold, perhaps. That was the thing people were thinking, that WWE was going to be sold. And now you fast forward, and over the course of the weekend, I guess we can call this Bloody Monday maybe, the entire regime changed. Now, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's entirely your opinion. My opinion on the fact is I think this actually might be a good thing. I've been what's called a lapsed fan. I don't watch 3 hours of Raw every goddamn Monday because I don't got that kind of time to watch that kind of show. Raw isn't my thing right now. And if it is your thing, cool. That's the beauty of life, wrestling, in your opinion. You're entitled to like what you like. I like AEW. Most of the time, AEW does dumb shit, but I still watch it. Que c'est la vie, because it's on a Wednesday, and I can spare 2 hours on a Wednesday. I can't do Monday and Friday. Can't do 5 hours of WWE programming. Shout out to the Tribal Chief. Anyway, so now the people who, by the fan standards and maybe some of the internal staff standards, I don't know, is out to paint. Kevin Dunn has been replaced, and this is breaking news. I'm not really breaking. I'm sure it's going to be on Twitter before I post this shit. Kevin Dunn is actually gone from whatever the hell he did. What was he? Director? I don't know his position. He was annoying. That's the guy that he does all those camera cuts to make people crazy. And he annoys Snoop Dogg. If you read the reports or whatever, that shit, that's that guy, the bucktooth guy that some people like, some people don't like, whatever. Basically had a job for life or some shit like that. Well, I believe he's been demoted. I don't think fired, but now Jeremy Borash from TNA Impact, who's been working for WWE for a hot minute, he'll take over Kevin Dunn's role. So hopefully we won't see 9,000 cuts. That's the one thing, though. Even as a lapsed WWE fan, I remember those goddamn camera cuts. Like, in the span of 12 seconds, there'll be 24 goddamn cuts. I can't keep it up. That gives me motion sickness. B, you gotta relax yourself. Calm down. Calm the mother of hell down. What's wrong with you? So maybe tonight I might tune in just so I don't get motion sickness trying to watch the product. Who the hell knows? But it's interesting about Triple H because... And the thing is, I'm sure there's people that are happy about that. I'm sure there's people that are not happy about that. That's the beauty of professional wrestling. It's this whole thing. Ms. McMahon summarily, just kind of destroyed the territories in the late 70s, early 80s to now be really, wrestling is basically just what it is in the sense that WWE is considered the Kleenex of wrestling. So I say that to say that when we talk about let me get a Kleenex, let me get a tissue. People just assume that all tissue is Kleenex, even though there's thousands of brands of tissue. I can't name anything, but it's like, give me a Kleenex. People know, give me a that means give me a tissue. Same way, you talk WWE, you could do anybody. You could have Kevin Gates showed up AEW and punched Tony Nese in the face. And people say, I didn't know Kevin Gates was in WWE, because that's the appeal that they have. They are the Nintendo, the Kleenex of everything. Everyone thinks video games are Nintendo. Well, old people do. Like, oh, give me the new Nintendo PlayStation, shit like that. That's what WWE is, and that's fine. That's basically the cultural phenomenon because of what happened in the late 70s and 80s. So to see this quantum shift, and I'm pretty sure this quantum shift is due to the fact that my man Vinnie Mac was using, why am I calling him Vinnie Mac? I don't know this man. Vince McMahon was using company funds or his funds to pay NDA hush money because he's getting his beak wet, I guess. And look, you don't mess with the stock people, corporation. You don't do that kind of crazy. Like, you can do a lot of bad shit in a company as long as you write it off properly. When you write off NDA hush money, that's improprietary of funds, so that's not a good thing. So I'm thinking that they probably the stockholders are like, we don't give a shit about none of this wrestling stuff. You better get out the paint. And so that happened. That's crazy. I don't think we'll see something like this in our generation or in our lifetime ever again. With what was built by the WWE, WWF, by Vince McMahon, by Vince McMahon's father, Vince McMahon Sr. We'll never see something on this level again. So for him to retire or step down, whether it be forced, like I assume, or ascertained, or whether it just be by like, you know what, I'm gonna get my rim jobs with no NDA money, and he's gonna do his own thing now, whatever. It's gonna be interesting. So tonight, because this is going on in a couple minutes, tonight we're gonna have Monday Night Raw. I'm actually gonna tune in, and I hope some of y'all, I'm sure, if this is a WWE 2K site, so I'm sure you people will watch WWE anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Is there going to be this big, gigantic shift? Well, with Jeremy Borash, I'm assuming there'll be a shift where I won't get motion sickness watching the match. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what happens creatively? Is it par for the course? Are there going to be like dramatic shifts and change? Depending on who you ask, people say that, Vince McMahon was XYZ. And I don't know, here or there or anywhere. LA Knight was supposed to be part of M&M, the model agency thing, and then he kind of vanished, and now the Maxine Dupree, it was supposed to be a duo, but now Maxine Dupree was quote unquote the sister, and now he's like not there with that. So is LA Knight coming back? Let me talk to you, dummy. I don't know what's gonna happen with NXT 2.0. Are we gonna go back to like some more red and black? Golden. What is it? Black and yellow. I'll say gold and black. Jesus, yellow and black attack. What's happening? Gold and black, is that coming back? All these people that loved William Regal and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and the list goes on. Like all those people that NXT built that went to AEW now. What's going to happen in a couple of years? Are they going to start coming back now because Papa H is back? It's a giant shift in the medium of professional wrestling when the biggest company in the world that makes billions of dollars, the man who's been there for God, literally 7 decades, probably 6 to 7 decades, because he's been doing this for the longest time. Vince McMahon is gone. And at first I'm thinking, hey man, it's gonna be, hey, we're just gonna have, he'll still be there in spirit to do whatever, but now it looks like he is specifically out of the paint. So there is now a chance for such a shift that fans have been clamoring for so long. Like, people are tired. And the funny thing is, wrestling is supposed to be for kids, but people are tired of the kid shit. We have the rating is being changed too. It's supposed to be going to TV 14. This is happening at SummerSlam, courtesy of my close personal friend, Andrew Zarian. I don't know why I took a dramatic pause for that. I was trying to get my bearings. But the point is, it's happening. We're going back to maybe not Attitude Era. And I don't know why people are clamoring for the Attitude Era, because, to be quite honest with you, that era wasn't necessarily that great. But the bonus is everybody had something to do, and everything, whether top or bottom, was infinitely entertaining. So what will we see with the Triple H regime? It's gonna be interesting, because are we still gonna have these scripted, these awfully scripted promos? When it comes to writers in wrestling, I don't think that is the mix we need. I don't think we need writers in professional wrestling to treat it like a TV show. I think the crux of wrestling is basically just, hey, here's a problem, here's a conflict, here's a match, make money. You don't have to have these executive writers that basically write what they think someone should sound like, and then what you see is you don't feel it. You just like, okay, they're just reciting lines. It's not like even a movie either, where you can suspend disbelief. A lot of times these people just regurgitate tripe or bullshit, in my opinion. Like, I prefer the older days where, they're given bullet points and you sink or swim. I'm sure there's people that require to have, like, they need specifically, written scripts and whatever. But I think just having people be themselves turned up to 11 is what we need in wrestling, to have people stand out and to show out and to be noticed for being people, as opposed to these action figure automatons that you be getting when you tune in to Raw. In my opinion, again, I'm a Laps fan. I'll watch clips and I'll just go, ugh. Like, there's people who do gold. Like, the New Day does gold, and the New Day does gold because the New Day gets to basically say, they have their points and they make their points, and their segments are always, for the most part, entertaining. Folks like the Usos, folks like the Tribal Chief, folks like Randy Orton. There's people that could just carte blanche say what they need to say, get their point across, and it's great. Not everybody's going to be like that, but that's the beauty of wrestling, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think that's a strong opinion. So I would be remiss to say that I would like to see, maybe in the Triple H regime, we're not going to have so many writers. Who knows? Probably not. Probably just going to be like, hey, keep the writers. We got our entertainment, but who knows? Maybe we'll get those NXT type matches on Raw. Maybe Raw will actually be matches and matches, as opposed to a 3-hour show that has 30 minutes of wrestling. I don't know. Is that what people want? Maybe. As a wrestling fan, that's what I would kind of like, but maybe I'm not the audience for this anymore, and that's okay. So it's exciting to see what's going to happen. I'll be honest, I don't think today is going to be the day, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to tune in to see what the hell happens, because now I have a curious interest. I'm really, really curious to see if there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be sweeping changes, but there has to be something. Something has to give. So for the first time in a long time, I'm actually excited again to watch some wrestling, to see what is going to happen. That rarely happens nowadays, as for me, as a wrestling fan. But it's some nervous energy. Triple H might not be for everyone. The Triple H regime might not be for everyone. But at the very bare minimum, Triple H was consistent when you had NXT, the regular NXT. It was very consistent, whether you liked it or not. I'll say honestly that 2016, 2018 era of NXT was incredibly watchable, and those takeovers were great, fun to watch, good fucking matches, man. So it's gonna be it's this weird trepidation about the future. Is it gonna be the same stuff, or are we gonna get something new? Either way, it's exciting, because now we might actually get that, that Laps fan like myself might get what we've been yearning for. And maybe we'll have more WWE to talk about, because maybe it'll be, for me, watchable, other than like the odd WrestleManias every now and again. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens. It's crazy right now to be a wrestling fan. What's this going to mean for AEW? Once those contracts from those people expire, they might just go running back, because Papa H is back. Papa H has a lot of support from a lot of independent wrestlers that he picked and helped groom for NXT, which became great stars, only for the usual mamas, aka Dunn, Laurinaitis, Pritchard, bring them under heel, to put them sports entertainment. So, in the Paul Heyman contingent, we got Paul Heyman now, like, working hand in hand with Stephanie. It's going to be crazy. And I would recommend, maybe you should probably tune in tonight. Let's take stock of what's happening. Maybe we'll see some changes. maybe not. I don't know. It's exciting. So that's that. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next go round. And if you have any comments or thoughts about what's going to happen with WWE moving forward now that Triple H is in charge, Stephanie's in charge, Nick Khan on the side playing Mortal Kombat, climbing the ranks, Kevin Dunn in the dumpsters, Brute Pitcher demoted, John Laurinaitis on extended leave, and Vince McMahon chilling out, getting his knob slob, probably with more hush money. I don't know. I'm just saying. Whatever. Drop your comments below. Have a good day. God bless. See you when I see you.